commercials. Do we need lights or we're good?
Oh, I can do that.
Damn, Michael Phelps looks older in this ad.
Who does?
Michael Phelps. See, and you're here saying here that you look older than him.
It was all right.
And that's about 40.
Let's go. All right, ready?
Yep. Hello, Simone. Hello, Lucifer. Hello, Alex. Hello, Dushan.
Oh, Dushan, early shout out for you. Just hold tight. Hold tight. All right, ready to go?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone, once again, and welcome to another 5K tennis kind of family discussion. And I can't say that any more humbly than that. Today is Monday, September the 28th, 2020. And we're going to start this one out with a huge thank you once again. A thank you to everyone for the ongoing communication between yesterday when we stopped doing our show. We didn't have television, and a lot of you are communicating back and forth with us all over the place. Rajesh Kumar, Ethan D.A., Gene Swart, Milan Kostic, B-Dog02, Mike Walker, Nilmini, Wirakun. She gave me some hell, but that's okay. I love you anyway. This guy 1000 and a lot more. And Dushan Dramakanine, by the way. For 2 years, we've done this fantasy team thing. And I'm not going to waste a bunch of time showing you this, but for whoever plays, I write them down by hand. And then, play like Yahtzee, and I'm keeping up with scores, and it takes forever, right? So Dushan Dramakanine did some really soldier shit. I mean, really true shit, like, what's up? And made an Excel sheet where he had he took his time, in other words, to go to our fantasy team video and looked at everybody's stuff and did it on his own time, and his own time, equals money. So what I would like to do is, number one, thank you for doing that. But number two, if for every major that we do, and I think this is our 12th one that we've done, for every major we would like to pay you to do it if you have the time or willingness to do so. But we can talk about that privately or whatever. But I would like to pay you for this. So if you can reach out to Carla and I, whether it's like Facebook Messenger or whether it's texting her or right here in comments. Some people are skeptical of what they put in comments. But let us know, and I want to make sure I pay you for what you did. So whether it's PayPal or Venmo or whatever it is, just let us know, and we will pay you to do so. And the invitation is open if you would like to do that from this point forward.
Gene, Krajinovic already lost.
Yeah,
he must be way behind.
Yeah, Krajinovic just lost.
Yeah. What's up, this guy? 1000, Mondo, Gene, Wildlife, let's go. Maj, Lila C. And that's it. I said hello to everybody else. Monfils lost. Lots of upsets today. Yes. Kerber losing. Yes. And what a weird, we finally put the box up so we were able to watch some matches. And
yes,
that ball sounds messed up, by the way. And the empty stadiums is ridiculous to me. They could have put more people in those stadiums spread apart. I mean, the ones that they even have sitting there are not even spread apart. They could have put more people. It just sounds weird.
The ball definitely sounded differently. We've listened to the matches yesterday. We watched them today. The ball has a different sound to it. So if you've been able to watch it, I don't know if it's a microphone.
Jude.
I don't know if it's a microphone issue or what, but the ball tends to sound very ping pongish, very flat, kind of knocking against it instead of that drum beat, boom, in the sweet spot. It seems very kind of flattish in the sweet spot. Am I right?
Yeah, it just sounds odd. I think I have to agree with Nadal, even though Puppy Hater says something different.
Puppy Hater.
Zverev says, you want me to say what he said?
Zverev said about what?
He said he disagrees with Nadal. He said the new balls now are way better than before. The Babolat balls were the worst of all time. Then Evan says some of these balls we were using, you wouldn't give a dog to chew.
Why? Okay, so Zverev's a puppy hater. We got another puppy.
Oh my God. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Also, too, I'll squash this, but Dushan Dramakanine, I was thinking about doing for the next major, which would be the Australian Open, an additional player for the fantasy teams. We can talk about it privately and not waste a bunch of people's times, but I would like to add a 3-point player that maybe is ranked outside the top 100 in the world or a qualifier or something, and if that person wins, if you pick them in 3 points instead of 1 and 2. So we'll get into that personally, but just something to think about.
Evan said you wouldn't give that ball to a dog to chew. So are we better off playing with dead balls?
is that a pro-dog comment or an anti-dog
I
comment?
don't know.
Pro-dog, like, I wouldn't even give this to my dog because I love my dog so much, or I wouldn't give this to a dog because that's the lowest, scum on the earth. Is that pro-dog or anti-dog?
I don't know.
You might want to go hang out.
Of course, Zverev is going to go against Nadal. You know that already.
It's hot as hell in here.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
You're
hot.
sweating more than I am.
It's hot in here, man. It's hot. It is hot.
I know, but I'm not even sweating.
All right, you ready to get into this?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. So any topics, by the way, that you want to discuss, put them in comments. We'll discuss them. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, fair enough. I lost my train of thought.
Well, remember yesterday that you said Nadal was complaining and bitching about the ball and why butt picker always picks up, is bitching about the ball?
Yeah?
Well, I have a comment from Ethan. Too bad he's not on right now. This message is for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to read it right now. And remember how I said everything gets lost in translation?
Who?
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm waiting for you to read this message that's for me.
So, okay, laugh out loud, says Ethan. Here's the full quote from Nadal. But after I paste it, I have some points to make.
Okay, now let's put this into context before I get drilled for some reason.
Yeah.
The only thing I said yesterday is that number one is Nadal whining about the damn ball. So Zverev just tended to be super happy about the damn ball. So if Nadal,
What's up, Ethan?
So are you telling me?
And Marco.
Yesterday, the only question I asked and I didn't proclaim is that Nadal whining.
Well, you said he was whining, and I said, usually when you translate it, and somebody says something funny about his English, which I'll read later on.
Okay.
But when you translate it, it's not translated right, and so Ethan went he went and I can't even say it. He did his research.
Okay, before I get drilled, I'll take it like a man, but let me go ahead and tell you one thing. You have one person, let's just say Zverev, the puppy hater man himself, that is very happy about the ball. You have Rafael Nadal on the other side of the court who is very disgruntled about the damn ball. The only thing I said yesterday is I asked everyone, is Nadal whining or is he picking his ass too much and whining on top of that? That's the only thing I said. I asked an objective question. Is he whining?
Can we go back to that video where
now,
he's like, Nadal is whining. He's being a butt picker. Wham, 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 wham. Didn't you get the balls in your country to play with? Wham, 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 wham.
Carla, opinions are like what? Everybody has one. Opinions are like blank, and everyone has one. All I'm saying is there's two sides to every story. Look, we have no AC in the house. It's like 90 degrees here today, or 85. It's stagnant air, so, I'm rolling with it. But
Ethan said you didn't ask. You said he's whining.
Okay.
At least admit that.
All right, I admit that. So I said Nadal is whining. But here on the other side of the court, there is Zverev that is ecstatic about the ball.
Anyways.
So we have opinions, which are like what?
So I'm going to say it.
Okay, read it.
So Ethan says, okay, laugh out loud. Here's the full quote from Nadal. But after I paste it, I have some points to make. Scroll down. He says, I practiced with the balls in Mallorca, said the Spaniard. In Mallorca, with warm conditions, the ball was very slow. I think it's not a good ball to play on clay, honestly. This is my personal opinion. Even with these conditions, it makes things tougher. But I knew before arriving here, so no problem at all. Just accept the challenge. But I really believe that the organization needs to take a look at that for the next couple of years. For the health of players too. Because the ball is super heavy, it becomes dangerous for the elbow and the shoulders, I think. Didn't you say he said, it's dangerous?
There's a rule book for something like this, and I'll drop the facts in a minute.
Notice the parentheses around the particular words like it. Those punctuation marks are inserted by media organizations when a quoted person doesn't literally use them.
Fair enough.
Those are
because they don't want to sound like the idiot.
Those are editorial decisions made to help readers better understand a sentence and make the sentence look more complete. They're used even more often, unsurprisingly, when they quote a person is not a native English speaker. Regardless, the it Nadal was referring to was clearly the heaviness and the speed of this ball. He was not complaining about the ball's impact on his chances at winning, which is what Justin suggested here. He was pointing out on behalf of all the players that a heavier ball carries a greater risk of injury to the arm. These situations are nuisance. He said, we'll deal with it this year because we have no choice. I'm not skipping Roland Garros or anything, but in the future, organizers should prioritize the health and safety of players.
Oh, man. Well, let me go ahead and address this.
Oh, man. You just got Serve
no.
breakfast.
You know, the moral of the story is opinions are like what?
Mm-hmm.
Opinions. Can anyone fill in the blanks here so I don't have to get profane? Opinions are like what? And everybody has one. Now let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Carla.
Mm-hmm.
Are there rules? Are there rules in the game of tennis? Are there rules? There's
Yes.
rules. Like
Yes.
if you accidentally hit someone, hack them in the throat with a tennis ball, and they react, way out of play. You disqualify people. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
rules. If
Yeah.
you double fault,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
lose
yeah.
the damn point.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If I hit a ball in the freaking net, I lose the point.
This guy said, "Hi." He said, "Justin, you've been ace, bagel, and straight settle."
That's cool. I like the
Straight
rhyme.
settle.
I like the rhyme. But here, my first take on
What's
this.
up, Pavel? New guy. Hi, guys. The ball
No,
must
Pavel.
be.
No. He's been
I've
around.
never seen him. Okay, the ball must be regulation weight.
Okay, who said that?
Pavel.
Stick with me, bro. Where's he at? Pavel. What's his last name?
Konechny.
Konechny? Let's go. Stick with me. That's my dog right there. Here's what I'm talking about. I said our rules, freaking rules. Homeboy came out with that. Now, let me tell you, I didn't look. I'm shooting from the hip because I just got thumped by Ethan, and I love you a lot, though, no
He's
matter
from
what.
Prague.
Okay, Prague, let's go. European block, let's get down. Only thing I'm saying is yes, rules are rules. There is a damn fixed ball weight, and it's
What's up, tennis brothers?
Paris representing.
Yeah.
Okay, there is an official weight of the ball that there is a variance within the weight. There is an average ball weight, and I want to say it's somewhere around like 2 ounces, 2.4 ounces to 2.6 ounces, give or take. It's somewhere in between the damn 2 ounce range and 2.6 or 2.8 ounces, and it's in the damn rule book. Okay, so if you're an ass picker and you're disgruntled and you look like you're picking your ass too much, insofar as you don't look like you're even interested in the match once again when you're playing Schwartzman in Rome, then there's got to be something more to do than pick your ass, and that is complain about the damn ball. They wouldn't have the ball if it wasn't legal. Now, at the same point in time, if they weren't hungry to pay for the roof, the $162 million or euro, whatever, paycheck that's like sitting bow blank with no insurance, talking about, where are my fans? We just cut them down to 1,000. Yeah, there was a paycheck for the damn ball. But I can assure you that the damn ball is within the rules or it wouldn't be there in the first place. So Nadal, freaking wah. Keep crying. Number one. But not, okay, now look. Nadal, by the way, if you haven't noticed, in this tournament has been bouncing the ball.
Gene said, "Wow, Justin, you're so toxic when it comes to Nadal."
Because I'm married to someone that just drools over this dude.
And then Alex said, "I don't drool." Now you're a freaking liar. I just said yesterday he's not my type.
Okay, more like maybe she like wishes it was her son or something because
Yeah, exactly.
when
Alex Couillard says, "I wonder if Justin would like Nadal if he didn't pick his behind."
Probably not. But look, but when Carla sees Nadal, it's like, oh, I hope his hair isn't falling out so quickly, or he
I don't
looks,
drool for this guy. Come on, man.
he looks bald. Nadal, I hope he's okay.
Anyways, Pavel says the International Tennis Federation defines the official diameter as 6.54 to 6.86 centimeters, 2.57 to 2.70 inches. Balls must have masses and range of 56.0 or 59.4 grams or 1.98-2.10 ounces.
Let's get down.
Yeah.
Comment of the freaking day.
Oh, you little whiny baby. Just because Ethan got you, but
he just dropped facts on you from the rule book. Is the ball within those
but he didn't
parameters, Carla?
complain. That was the whole point, Justin.
All right, whatever. He's whining about something.
Anyways, I'm trying to find the other message, which I thought was hilarious.
Thank you, bro. Pavel, what was that right?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Be Savage. This was the message from B Savage yesterday.
All right.
Rafa has been learning English, or rather has been speaking it without much learning. And it's been 15 years now. In this episode, Carla admits to having gifted whole sets to Justin.
It's bullshit.
And
That's
also,
bullshit.
Justin covers the Vegas betting odds without getting to his own betting story. But wow, and much more.
That's bullshit about the sets being gifted. She's having fun with that, and I'll prove it. Anyway, if
This guy says Nadal used to be handsome. Key word, used to. Anyways, honestly, he wasn't complaining. I did watch a few matches, and Nadal's ball is not doing much. By the way, there's no. I didn't find there was enough spin on it.
It just sounded.
It kind of flat. It looks flat. Even when it's going over, it's landing even shorter than normal.
Yeah.
So it sounds like he doesn't have a lot behind it. And I watched Monfils play Bublik. And by the way, Bublik said he didn't care about tennis. The dude cares about tennis. He just wanted someone to write a story about him.
And don't forget about Team Groves, who chose him on his fantasy team.
He wanted
that
someone
was a
to
deep
write
pick.
a story about him. The guy cares because I was watching him pump himself up. And if you don't care about tennis, you wouldn't even fight. Monfils, of course, typical Monfils, typical BS bullshit, trying to go for the ball when instead you should be thinking where to place the ball.
I think Monfils is in that same part of his career that a lot of players are, like, Venus Williams. And, just playing for the love of the game. He's a heck of an athlete. I've always hoped the best for Monfils. He could have, should have, would have won a major like Berdych or David Ferrer, but just didn't. And it's not going to happen now. But I think he plays because he enjoys the game.
I think he just wanted someone to write a story about him. But then we were watching Muguruza play as well, and the ball just sounds different. It just doesn't sound right.
Yeah, if any of you have watched these matches, the balls sound differently off the strings. You as a stringer, and we're stringers. As a stringer, when we're stringing rackets, sometimes the player doesn't know what tension to have, and we're able to observe that player or whatever. So we'll kind of find that tension where we can kind of hear that lovely spot that comes off their strings that suits their game. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
But the ball coming off the strings, and I don't know if it was just an audio. I don't know if it was audio or not, but the ball sounds different coming off the strings. It doesn't.
It's in the roof. I don't know. All the matches we saw, they were just not. The tennis pairs brother said Justin supports players Carlos dislikes in summary.
Wait, repeat that one?
Justin supports players Carla dislikes in summary. So anybody I like, you hate. Vice versa.
Name another one besides butt picker. Name another one besides butt picker.
I like Iron Man. You don't.
I like Vucevic.
Oh, okay.
Name another one, Carla. Can you name one?
I don't know.
I think you're.
Hachinov? You don't like him?
I don't dislike him though. Karen Hachinov, I think he's a good player. I just think he's very much like Del Potro, but not as good, or like Ivo Karlovic, but kind of the same, or like John Isner, but
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this guy about a player breaking the strings.
Yes, let's start that now. Who said that?
Yeah, I read that article. I can't believe it. I watched the video. Her name was.
Who mentioned that? This guy.
This guy. Yeah.
This guy.
Her name was Savatska. 20-year-old from Ukraine. She won the first set 6-2 against Bertens. Bertens won the match and then got her butt beat 6-2, 6-0. She broke 3 strings in 2 games. And she had 3 Yonex rackets and ran out of it. Her coach had to come out and give her a Babolat racket and she lost the match. I'm sure she lost the... First of all, I'm shocked that she popped 3 different rackets. 3 strings. That's 3 rackets. How do you pop 3 rackets unless someone didn't string it right?
Well, here's 2 things right off. Number 1, if she would have won the match when the coach brought her the Babolat frame, would have spoke wonders for the Babolat brand if she would have won it. The Cinderella story. Oh my God, could you imagine the commercial? She had the Yonex rackets. She pops one, and then all of a sudden her coach comes down from the stands like, what is it, like Prince Charming or something like that, and gives her the Babolat racket, with the Babolat strings, and it's like, here,
was she using gut? I don't know, Michael Walker. Good question. I mean, I know that when I popped strings, when I was playing in Panama City Beach, I used to get my racket strong, and I would pop them like in 20 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? That shouldn't be happening. I'm not hitting the ball that hard. It's cheap strings, or someone when they were stringing pulled too much tension on them.
Yeah, so we'll do. I don't want to bore anybody with stringing things. However, every player can afford different things at the level that they are at. Not every player is like Roger Federer that can drop off 16 rackets after every match, whether he uses them or not, and have those rackets privately strung. Now, Michael Walker raises a good question. Is it natural gut? Now, it doesn't really matter per se, because if she only has 4 rackets, and that's plenty, generally, that's plenty. If she brought 4 rackets out on the court, she's pretty comfortable, or he in this context, that those 4 rackets will see them through because of either experience or how much time they've spent on the court, whatever. So if you get on the court and you systematically go through 3 rackets, and then insofar as to lose another one and have your coach bring you down another racket so as not to be disqualified, you have to look at the stringer here in a way. When you string rackets, as we pull mains and crosses, my thought would be, if it's a hybrid string job, whether it's, say, polyester on the main strings and natural gut on the crosses, or like Roger Federer, he'll run natural gut on the crosses and then like a 17 gauge polyester like Luxilon or something running on the crosses. So I'd have to ask myself, where am I breaking? Am I breaking on these 3 frames in the sweet spot, number 1, and number 2, whether it's crosses or mains, and then number 3, let me look at the notching on my strings. Sometimes when a stringer is pulling tension on strings and they're working really fast on an electronic machine, they're just hitting a button, zzz, you're spinning it around, bzzz, and the machine's working and pulling tension, but you're just kind of speeding and going. The question is the stringer moving the strings back as the strings are being pushed through? So if you're looking down, I don't want to pull so much tension on a string, because if I can't pull them back and ease them through, it causes notching on the strings. I won't get into that. So I'm looking for three things if I'm that player. I'm looking for notching. I'm looking for, was it crosses or mains? And was there something like a tie-off knot on the top that was systemic in the multiple failures? Or was it just, one of those damn things? If I was stringing and someone blasted three strings immediately, boom, 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 during a match, and for that matter, I don't think I would be stringing anymore. But it just seems a little odd unless those three rackets she had were in her bag for a period of 5, 6, 7 matches with repeating. Hey, my grip's sweaty, I'm going to toss this racket out. This grip's sweaty, I'm going to toss that racket out. So how long were they in rotation?
It shouldn't have pop. It shouldn't have pop, especially at that level. Maybe she couldn't afford it, is what I think.
Maybe, and they hadn't been strung in a while.
Exactly. Stefan, what's up? What do you mean you beat? Hey guys, Nicola, you should tell the people how you lost 6-1, 6-1. Did you guys play against each other?
Oh, let me hear about this.
Are you two friends? Did you play against each other? Because if that's so, damn, Stefan beat him pretty bad.
Stefan's tall. You got to watch out for him. But sometimes tallness. The old saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
This guy says Sock still plays professional tennis.
That's a good question.
Oh, you guys are brothers.
Oh.
So are you tall, Nicola?
Can he dunk on you for real?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know that was your brother. I'm gonna ask Pavel. He asked a question, so let me go back to it before we get into the next subject.
Oh, I'm good.
Pavel says, by the way, I like Carla 2.0 to the earlier version. I don't know what that means.
What was the earlier version?
Yeah, by the way, I don't know what you mean by the earlier version. By the way, good pronunciation on Pavel. Paul, to my friends, any comments on the Murray versus Stans match?
Yeah, I think we discussed that briefly yesterday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it again. I think a lot of you guys said that Murray looked terrible out there. I mean, he didn't scream like he normally screams, Clay is not his surface. Also, like I said yesterday, I think it was a slap on on his face. I don't know why they didn't give him like an easy match, or not an easy match, or maybe give him a qualifier just to get his feet wet on Clay. And some of you guys said Stan looked really good.
So Wawrinka's won this thing before, and he's comfortable there. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, when what was it, last year or the year before that, where we would see Wawrinka and Dimitrov almost in the first round or matching up very soon thereafter. Mm-hmm. We saw this. We were like, here's Wawrinka with another veteran here. Is it random? Are the tournament organizers using their random software to randomize the draw the seeds are placed in as supposed to be done?
I don't think so.
Or is there some hand picking in here? If there's hand picking, then you have to ask the question, why? Mm-hmm. Why would you want that to happen? Is it because maybe more advertisement tickets can be sold per se for an intriguing first round matchup when you owe $162 million to the damn roof people or euros or whatever? I think it's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, did they change the balls all of a sudden because they just wanted to, or was there a monetary benefit from the $162 million roof and no fans? So you have to ask yourself the question: why would they face off? Just like why would the balls be changed? Money talks.
There was something that Wayne Chia told me. He sent me a messenger. He said, I think Stan Wawrinka is a fighter. He doesn't care if he loses or he wins. He'll play you the same way. With he'll be intense about it, unlike Thiem. And I did like what he said. He could be troublesome to any player. Let's see. Layla says Stan did look good, but he also wasn't challenged. Have to see how he looks in round 2. But these conditions should suit him.
Does anyone actually think that Andy Murray has a chance to even win moving forward a 500 level
So you don't
event?
like me talking, Pavel? He says your earlier version, the time when you were not as talkative. So you want me to stay quiet?
I like it when she talks.
Why do you want me to stay quiet? Because you don't like what I say?
It's all right. We can deal with it. We can battle it, bro. We can battle it. I'm in my corner. She's in our corner. You're in my corner. We'll just boom, boom, boom. No problem.
Mondo says TM Stan would be awesome one-handed backhand slugfest.
Okay, who said that?
Mondo.
All right, this is a great comment. By the way, why did Justine Henin have so much success at the French Open? And this is it's going to sound stupid because Roger Federer had no success. hardly. Well, he won one. And he had a one-handed backhand. But if you can time the one-handed backhand, if you can time it right, and you don't have someone like Nadal hitting a huge spin to your backhand side and nailing it consistently, the one-handed backhand is advantageous in my opinion. Now, I've been in coaching seminars for 30 years, and people would debate this. And so let me just say that right now, in my humble opinion, and I say opinion, that Dominic Thiem has an excellent chance to be in the final. I'm not going to go beyond that, but I think he has an excellent chance to be in the final. And why? Let me say why. He has a one-handed backhand. Now, if he's playing Nadal and the ball isn't so dangerously heavy as your butt picker has alluded to say, and Thiem can be on time and hit that one-handed backhand. The one-handed backhand has more kinetic energy. You have more bow, then bring your racket back. It's not as compact, in other words, but if you're hitting it on time, lights out, and you can hit through the court incessantly.
So Alex Couillard said, well, why did Sampras never win the French Open with his one-handed backhand?
Okay, that's a great argument. That's a great argument. That's a great comment. Who said that? Who said that?
Alex Couillard.
It's a wonderful comment. You're saying the truth. But the one-handed backhand, for in my opinion, now you have a bell curve. I wonder if you could go to, say, prior to 1990 and go back all the French Open champions on the men's side.
Gustavo Kuerten had a one-handed
and
backhand.
look how many of them had one-handed backhands versus two. Now notice why I said pre-1990. We went rackets from basalt, graphite, wood mixture, etc. to braided boron, GTOs,
didn't
fiber.
Borg used to let go?
He would let go at contact.
Yeah.
So he was like a 2-1 mix.
Yeah. By the way, my daughter said she doesn't want to play with two-handed.
Yeah, our daughter.
So she says I want to work at the one-handed.
She's going back
I'm
to
going back to
Let's
it.
get down.
So I said, okay, well, no tournaments, and we'll concentrate on that.
Look, okay. If I'm hitting the two-handed backhand, I'm in the ready position. I'm ready for the ball neutral. I'm neutral. I'm bringing my hand here. I'm compacted. I'm through. If I have time to rotate and get all this wrist pronation from head up, handle down, you'll see Federer do it perfectly. This 90-degree angle, boom, boom. Come down, set it, and just if you're hitting it on time on a clay court, if you can get there on time, then you have a real big advantage on the backhand wing. You just do. Thiem has a really good shot here because of that. Now, that's a great mention by Alex Couillard. Undebatable. Beautiful, beautiful. Why is Federer the same way?
Alex isn't pronounced Couillard. It's Couillard. Couillard. His name is Spanish. Couillard.
Okay.
It's 2 L's. Yeah. Couillard.
But I would be curious if someone could do the research prior to the year 1990.
Gasprin. Okay. Someone said, look at Gasprin's one-hander. Fergio 9.
Yeah. Prior to the year 1990. The French Open, I think, is the second oldest of all the majors. I think Wimbledon's the oldest and the French Open is the second. How many champions on the men's side, and women's for that matter, prior to 1990, honestly? You go back to Suzanne Langland and all these, Maureen Connolly's and Little Mo's and Althea Gibson and all these different... I mean, did they have
Michael Walker says you can't debate a one-handed backhand better on clay. It depends on the players.
Yes. And I agree with that, too. But just look historically. We'll move forward. Look historically of how many people prior to 1990 had won the French Open with a one-handed backhand versus the two. And that will basically prove my claim, because I know I'm right, that Thiem has a really good advantage only if he can get to the ball on time.
By the way, Stefan Nikola Kostic, our brothers, he said, yep, same height, he could dunk on you as well.
Man, I'll freaking smack his shit deep. He's got no shot. You gotta catch it. You gotta catch me first. Choo-choo, scoop! Bye. Now we get down.
Anyways, Master Splinter will not win the French Open, guys.
All right. Where are we moving?
Let's go to the next one.
All right, let's go.
We were talking about, yesterday we talked about Sebastian Korda, right, for a little bit?
Peter Korda's son.
You mentioned that was his first ATP level. We forgot to mention that. And his first Grand Slam win.
Yes, Sebastian Korda. Congratulations. He won his first match at a major, but at the same time won his first match and his first, ATP level event, not challengers, whatever, but an actual countable, 250, 500, 1,000 major event. So he got his first ATP level event win and his first win in a major.
So Michael Walker said historically it makes no sense because the two-handed backhand only came around the 1960s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Zverev might win the French for Carla. Yeah, right.
That's not happening.
All right, let's talk about today's matches. First match, Bublik. Bublik beats Monfils. Are we shocked?
Not really.
Not really.
In an entertaining match, Team Groves out there, who's a viewer, was the only person in all of our fantasy team selections that took Bublik, and I was shocked to see it. We actually did a show on Bublik at one point in time because he indicated he only liked to play because it was a job, or he did not like to play because it's just a job for him. He didn't like the game at all, but only did it because that was his craft. So we appreciated that and understand that. I mean, we've played tennis our whole lives, Carlo, and we coach it. Don't you think sometimes we get tired of it? And it's not that we get tired of it. Let me put it like this. When Carla and I wake up, we shower or whatever we do, we go out to the courts, we clean them, and then we coach, hopefully all day long. And then we come home and we shower, and it's the kids and so forth. Now, if I get a call at 7:30 at night, hey, man, you want to go play doubles at the local club? I'm like, nah, man, I'm freaking out, dude. No. Then they're like, why? How could you not want to play doubles? Because, man, I've been working all day doing the same thing. So I get what he says. I feel what he says. And I'm really proud of him for winning.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of him for winning.
He definitely showed some fight.
He showed some fight. It didn't look like today. We watched this match. It did not look like today. It was a job for him. It looked like he was ready to fight. So bravo for Bublik. But even bigger bravo for Team Groves out there that chose him on his fantasy team all alone. All you fantasy team players out there, I hope you understand that if Bublik goes through another 2 or 3 rounds, or even 1 or 2, you got to watch out for Team Groves because he's going to make mad points off of him, and no one else has him. So that's just all points to gain right there.
I was just looking at, some of you guys were mentioning that Kerber's out. Yeah, so Juban won, so I was trying to find it on my paperwork. Trying to find Kerber. Let me see. Okay, next match. Sonego beats Emilio Gomez. Emilio Gomez, his dad won the French Open.
Well, hold on, don't tell me. Andres Gomez.
Andres Gomez, yeah.
Yes. Do you know what year Andres Gomez won the
Agassi.
French? Yes, Agassi.
Yeah, he beat Agassi.
What year was that? Was like that 92? 91?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Because I think I was in Southern California still, and I think Agassi still had the longer hair, and he had the earring, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't he playing with a Dane racket?
Mm-hmm. 1990.
Boom! Let's go.
Michael Walker, 1990.
Let's go. Michael Walker dropped that.
So Mondo says, "What will you do if Dami wins Carla? Wear a headband for the next couple months."
Oh, do you think?
I'll frost my hair even more blonde. How's that?
All right. Well, so wait a minute. What's the bet?
Mondo says, "What will you do if Dominic Thiem wins Carla? Wear a headband for the next couple months?"
And
I don't know.
And you're saying you're dye your hair like?
I don't know. Let's make it interesting. What would you do, Mondo?
Okay, that's a good question. What's she gonna do?
Exactly.
She'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll make sure.
Next match that we were talking about. This was a long match. Lorenzo Giustino, and Corentin Motet.
Good match.
16-18, 18-16.
18-16 in the 5th.
Yeah, that was like one of the longest matches. This guy's a veteran of tennis.
Wasn't this, Lorenzo Giustino. I wrote this. Good research. We were on the same brainwave. She didn't want to sit in a moldy table, so she was in here and I was in there. So we wrote this at the same time. So he's 29 years old. He's an Italian player. And
6-hour match. Yeah.
Six-hour match,
yeah.
And won 18-16 in the 5th. Now, first question is right off: is he going to win his next round match, Carla? You know, it's an old thing when you get a young player or not. He's actually 29. You've been around a long time.
Well,
you get a player that goes.
He faces Schwartzman. That's gonna be tough.
Over. It's
over.
But his first tour level ever match, even though he's 29, first tour level match ever, even though he's 29. Was at 18-16 in the 5th. Too bad for Mutet or Mutet. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's French.
Mutet, yeah.
Mutet. I mean, Babolat is really Babolat.
So Wayne Chia sends me a message. Medvedev will lose to Fusovic. I hope so.
He could.
Hello, Sinisa. How are you?
Medvedev has never won a match at the French Open ever. Mm-hmm. Is Medvedev playing right now?
Yes, he is.
What's the score?
4-0, first set.
In the first?
First set, yeah. So most of these guys, most of the viewers said they should have a tiebreaker. Especially in these conditions, the match is going to be very long.
I can accept that for this one reason, for this mucky, cold tournament. However, if it was what?
Motet.
May.
Thank you, this guy.
There you go. If it was like June or July or wherever this tournament happens, or May, I would say no tiebreaker. I'm not a fan of the tiebreaker. I just am not. It's not, every match doesn't end up like Anderson and Mahut. It goes, 7 million to 999,998 every day. I get it in the cold, but I don't get it elsewhere.
Yeah, my Iron Man. Anyways, let's talk about this match. I was kind of shocked. Felix Auger-Aliassime goes down to Nishioka in 3 sets.
Got it.
3 sets. He's never beaten Nishioka. He's now down 2-0.
Yep.
Man, what is going on with Felix? It's like he's either burned out or his serve. You mentioned he double faulted a lot. He had the same issue at the U.S. Open. What's going on with him?
Yesterday we were talking on the show about players like Rublev, Yannick Sinner, in relation to players that have been around a little bit longer. Felix has been around for a couple years, and we've heard him make noise. We've seen Tsitsipas, we've seen Zverev, who's doing better now. But we had a discussion saying that there's certain players that if they don't finally get how do I say it, more tactically or more mature tactically or more patient, that players like Rublev or Sinner are going to creep through and surpass them. Let me tell you what some of Felix Auger-Aliassime's statistics were. Now, the statistics that I wrote down were only because they weren't influenced predominantly by the cooler weather or clay. So I wanted it to be, a non-biased accumulation of statistics. Number 1, Felix had 6 double faults. Not terrible in 3 out of 5 sets. It's manageable, average 2 serves or 2 double faults per set. But, Nishioka, from what I wrote, only had 1. So that's, you're giving up a game right there. That's 4 points. That's a game, right? He was 2-2. That's dose. He was 2 for 13 for break points. If you got 13 break point opportunities and you only consolidate 2 of them with someone like Nishioka that's not blowing you off the court with the serve, we have an issue there of return of serve. I would be working that. Nishioka won 64 points when serving to Felix Auger-Aliassime's 51. So as a man, if you're winning 1 out of every 2, it's a coin toss, in other words, 50% chance it's heads or tails. When you are serving, that's a problem. Nishioka, on the other hand, won 44 receiving points to Felix's 39. Now, why did I even bring that up when there's only a 5-point differentiation? Nishioka's like half his size and really short. So what is that telling you? He's not hitting his spot, so his serve is off. The proof is in his first serve percentage. The games won, Nishioka won 19 games. Nishioka won 19 games to Felix Auger-Aliassime's 11. Proof is in the pudding. He got his ass whipped. Now the question is why? Why did he get his ass whipped? Are you going to blame the weather? Are you going to blame the balls? Or is Felix Auger-Aliassime plateauing off the rise of Auger? Here he comes with Shapovalov. They're sleeping on each other's couches. Then bam, there's the plateau. It seems like to me that Shapovalov is continuing to climb the mountain, and right now we're at a plateau here. So I guess the question is what to do.
Yeah.
What to do? What do you do?
Mondo and I, we're going to go through this bet. I have to wear a TM headband if TM wins the French Open, and if he loses, he'll donate $25, he said.
Why don't you do something bigger than the headband?
That's what he said. He said, I already have highlights.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, well, there you go.
All
right.
That's it.
Yeah, and Iron Man won the first set, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, the question
so
is...
this guy said, Justin, he's 20, give him a break. Yeah, but I think maybe...
But Sinner's 19 and just...
But maybe he needs to, because it seems like he's going down when he was going up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Something has to change. Maybe he needs to, relax a little bit with the tennis. Maybe not play so much,
Yeah.
Because something's going on there.
I mean, I understand it. He's 20. That's a great comment. I get it. And I was 22. And again, we coach... And I coached for 22 years after our playing years. I get what you're saying. He or she is young, and yes, you are correct. But
asked, by the way, Carla, what's your head-to-head against Justin? You don't want to know.
Because you don't know.
It's like I'm Serena and he's Sharapova. That's how you. I mean, it's simple. I mean, even the guys that were cutting the grass asked today, "Who wins?" I said, "I want like this."
Wait a minute.
And they were laughing.
I have a cast on my arm.
No, but they've seen us play before, and they said, "Who wins?" And I said, "Me."
That's bullshit.
Anyways.
I've had a broken arm for a year and just started hitting the ball just to try to feel it out today.
Yeah, it is 2020. He came back from a 6-month break. But remember that before the 6-month break, he was playing too many tournaments, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he does have time to improve. I agree.
Yeah, he has time to improve. But what I'm saying,
Shapo released another song with Mute. Really,
Shapovalov's songs are whack. But let's just ask this question. Right now, if you had to choose between Felix Auger-Aliassime and Yannick Sinner or Rublev, moving forward, where does Felix Auger-Aliassime fit on your list? So think about that. Rublev, Aliassime, and Yannick Sinner. And you have to pick them 1, 2, 3 on your team. And that team is going to compete for some major thing. How do you list them in playing order?
Tom says Nicolas Kohn will win the French Open 2025. Never heard of the player. Can you send me a link or something? Somebody you know?
No, look, that's got to be some huge betting odds. I guarantee if you call like Vegas or somebody and say, look, man, there's this dude, and I think he's going to win the French Open in 2025, and this is his name, I bet you they would take that bet and have big paydays.
Wildlife says Medvedev is going to have a ton of trouble creating his own pace here. Smart tactics and grinding are his only hope.
Yeah, who said that?
So he broke his arm. That guy, whoever he mentioned, broke his arm. Okay.
During the match?
No, I guess he's broken his arm. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next match. Ruud wins in 3 sets. He'll face Tommy Paul. Jack Sock beat your favorite dude, Opelka.
Either one I don't care for.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not really worried about either one.
So TM Cruises beats Chilik pretty easily, like you guys said. So his next player is Sock. Would that be a challenge?
Nah. Why is it that I am...
TM's going to eat Sock for dinner.
Yeah. Look, why is it that I have zero interest in the Sock Opelka match? Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, Opelka's going to come out there and chug a Red Bull and serve as hard as he can and probably have 7 million aces. But because it's on clay and it slows everything down just a little bit, people have more time to react, including big belly beer drinking dudes like Jack Sock. I'm not saying I don't drink a beer, but I'm not freaking playing in majors, for crying out loud. I wouldn't be if I did. So why do I have no interest in that? Number one, because Opelka is a serve with a Paul Bunyan beard and a Red Bull chugga-chugga-roo. And Jack Sock is an asshole in the locker room. He has a lot of he is disrespected a lot around the locker room areas because of the way he has acted, and maybe he has changed.
Michael says Sock might surprise everyone.
Well,
maybe.
Okay, I'll take action on that shit. He loses in the next round. And number two, look, Jack Sock, by the way, has been...
he's trying to get back. You got to give the guy a break.
I give him credit.
He's trying.
I give him credit, and good for him. I'm not hating on Jack Sock. Mm-hmm. Good for him to be here at this point now. But if you are trying to play tennis at the highest level in a country which now is known for schmuck ass, party boy, freaking gringo ass, freaking dudes that don't give a shit about the game, they just want to party.
Wildlife said, even if Sock makes a close match for a couple sets, Team's fitness is a different level. Good luck going 5 with Team.
It's not going to happen.
It's not.
But if you were going to try to take the reins from any American player in history, what is that shit?
It's hot.
I mean, at least you wouldn't, suck it up and get a beer belly and play like shit and get known as an asshole. Jack Sock reminds me of Justin Gimelstob. They have the same type personality. They're egotistical, at least the way they come across. She's ready to go. She's tapping shit.
I'm ready for the next.
She's writing this high. I gotta go. So anyway.
No. I have a question. That is men's tennis in decent hands moving forward.
On the men's side, in the U.S.
No, I guess it's men's tennis even in decent hands moving forward.
I think it is. But if you're talking about the U.S. as the United States men's tennis in good hands moving forward, hell no. You can't even find the French Open on U.S. TV anymore unless it's like week 2 or on NBC for one day during the first week, which is yesterday. I think they had it. Then they had it like next Sunday.
In general, he's saying.
In general, I think it's in good hands. I think the United States players, at least on the men's side, are going to be done relatively quickly. There's Division I colleges in the United States that are dropping their tennis teams as a whole because they suck so bad.
Mondo asks your thoughts on Fritz and Albert. Albert has a good chance to beat Fritz, honestly.
Yeah, I think Albert will win that.
Yeah.
I think Albert wins in 3 or 4 sets.
All right, next match.
Take that to the bank.
Next match, and I'm only, hey, what's up, Team Groves? You're doing good. Your Bublik won today.
I mentioned you earlier in the show. Bublik won. Make some noise, bro. I did mention that. Incredible pick. And watch out for him, Team Groves, because he's the only person that's got him. So every time Bublik wins a match, he's got 2 points on everybody. Watch out for Team Groves.
And I'm not going to go through every match, just the important ones. Kukushkin takes out the beautiful beer Fognini.
No, not a big
6-0 in the last. It's 6-0.
Oh, shoot.
In the fourth set. Bageled him. After the 7-6 in the third, bageled him. It almost like Fognini quit.
He must have gave up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nadal will face McDonald. Shouldn't be a tough match. We watched him play Gerasimov, which Gerasimov fell on
Gerasimov, yeah.
Gerasimov fell on 1 point, right?
Yeah, he had the ankle tweak. I think he was running laterally from the backhand side to the forehand side. He slid into a ball and his ankle caught and rolled.
Fognini was injured. That's what I said.
Oh, at least he finished it.
We got Struff, who just beat Tiafoe in 5 sets. I'm shocked they went to 5 sets. I saw Struff would take that out in 3, honestly.
Well, I picked Struff on my fantasy team, so I'm pretty good with that.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people did, so good job on the points. Great job on the 2-point pick.
And the Serbian, the 26th seed, Krajinovic goes out to Milojevic.
Damn.
Another Serbian qualifier.
I had Krajinovic. I lost another player.
All right, let's go on to the women.
Let's roll.
Anisimova will face Pera. I mean, that's a good shot for Anisimova right there to move on to the, third round?
She'll have her hands full with Petra.
Yeah. Swiatek takes out Vondrashova. For those of you guys who have Vondrashova, I said it on the first show that Marketa Vondrashova should watch out because Swiatek is good, or Swiatek.
We've talked about Vondrousova's serve toss for a long time. I'm not saying this is the tail of the tail for Vondrousova, but I won't get into the dynamics of a throwing motion or whether you're throwing a football or whether you're shooting a bow and arrow or throwing a baseball, whatever you're doing. It needs to be one fluid motion. Her toss is so high that she tends to wait and it kind of stops her motion. She's able to generate basically the same amount of power, but because the motion stops, she's having to use more energy to actually do what she's doing.
She was injured, yes.
Yeah, so she didn't have to work as hard. But what I'm saying is that we talked about her toss prior to the French Open starting. During what was it, Rome, I think, where we were watching matches and we were like, dang, she tossed the ball up into like the third stand. You were like, woo, woo, and then she would hit it. Her ball toss is so high. So if we're serving, we want to go through it. We don't want to...
Yes, McEnroe wrecked it.
Yeah, not his actual one, but great condition, like the real deal, the British version.
How many hours do we coach? I don't know. Some days could be a lot, some days...
some days it can be 10 hours in a day.
Some days you're there from morning to night, so yeah it all depends.
But for Vondrousova, you want to be able to, if you're serving, you want to be able to go up and then go. You don't want to go up and then wait, pause, stop the motion, and then accelerate. It can lead to shoulder issues. It leads to adding too much power. It leads to inconsistency. So let me put the proof in the pudding. Vondrousova had 5 double faults. Okay, nothing crazy, but 2 out of 3 sets, 5 double faults, and still giving away an entire game plus 1 point. If you look at it that way, she was serving at 55% of her first serves. Ouch. Now I get it in women's tennis; they break more than in the men, and they don't rely so much as on their service holds as, say, the men's side does. We've done a show on that as well. She only won, on top of that, 1-5. What is 15 in Spanish?
15.
15. What is it? Okay, 15. She only won 1-5 return points the entire match. 5 double faults, served at 55% of first serve serves in. So, in other words, all she had was a second serve. And only won 15 return points. Now, that's a recipe for disaster. Now, moving forward, congratulations for the very young Swiatek, who's a Polish player, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. She's, 19 years old?
I think so, yes.
Mad talent here. So it's not that Vondrashova was necessarily bad or injured. The injury, I don't know what her injury was, but was it shoulder? Does she have a shoulder pain? I'm curious, because her toss is so high. She might... Who is a server in the game of tennis that... On the women's side, because I've never seen a man do it. That throws it up and just starts from here. Throws it up and goes. Doesn't have the whole wind up.
No, not Bertens.
Bertens. Did Bartoli has the toss up and go?
Yeah, Bertens is the one that has that.
Does Sophia Cannon do? Does she go all the way? No, she goes all the way, but she lifts her head up.
Bertens for sure.
So she just...
I'm not sure about Georges.
So she has the racket here. She goes from here, straight ball
hand
top.
injury. It was a hand injury.
So up and over.
Hand injury.
On the playing hand?
I don't know.
Because again...
Let's go to the next one.
Anyway.
Pavlyuchenkova beats Kuznetsova, which we expected.
You know.
I mean, yeah, come on.
I mean, if it was 2007, I would be shocked.
Irani beats Monica Puig 1-2. That
Good for
again.
Irani.
Miss Olympics didn't do anything with tennis. She just won the Olympics. I don't know how she even won the Olympics.
Who does Irani play next?
Irani plays
Bertens. She has a chance there.
You think so?
I think she has a chance. Irani could do well. Irani could make the third round.
I mentioned this because she's Silovina wins, and she'll face a player from Mexico, Sarasua.
Good for her.
Sarasua. Renata Sarasua. That's good. Good for Mexico.
Absolutely.
Serena and Perenkova will face each other again. Someone asked, well, who do you think can Perenkova? Yinghao asked, can Perenkova do well? She's definitely a pretty good player, especially on hard courts. They played each other at the U.S. Open. I mean, Serena knows how she plays. I think she'll go through that match, honestly.
I think it'll be a good match either way. Two quality players. Serena, I think, gets through this one. Serena had her shaking.
At least Monica Puig is pretty.
There's
there's a million pretty girls, Michael Walker. So what? I'd rather play better tennis.
Monica Puig.
Just saying.
Monica Puig is not far off from Anna Ivanovic.
I'd rather look like Kuznetsova and have 3 Grand Slams than be Monica Puig and win 1 Olympic, and that's it. I'd rather be. I swear to God, if God asked me, here's your choice, Monica Puig or Kuznetsova, I'll be Kuznetsova. Because at least I won 3 Grand Slams, and I have a chance to be in history, in the books of history, while Monica Puig won the Olympics. Woohoo!
He's not lying, though. She is a pretty girl.
Thank you, Ethan.
Anna Ivanovic is the prettiest, in my opinion, of all. But she's got to be close to the top, though.
It's not that I'm just talking about, I care about the talent. I could give a shit about the looks. There's a million pretty girls. A million. And what does it do for you? You either sell your soul, you become a model, or you become an actress. What does it do for you? It does nothing for you. Serena's not the prettiest lady in the world, but guess what? She kicks ass, and everybody knows who Serena Williams is. And I'd rather be known for kicking ass and being a role model and, making all this dough than being a pretty girl that's with a baseball player. Just saying.
I mean, I agree. But again, she's a pretty girl.
Let's go back to tennis. I agree. You were very specific with name selection. Oh, my God. Anyways, Muguruza.
She was in
almost lost.
Yeah.
And I picked her to win the French Open. I was like, oh, no. I was like, she better win.
She should have, could have almost lost. And I think, 15 people had Muguruza as winning the entire tournament. And she got tested early on. Good job for Zidansek. What was her name?
Yes, Zidansek. We've seen her play before. She's pretty good.
Yeah, and she hung in there, and Muguruza had all that she needed. I mean, she was given a battle, and it was a great match. We watched that match.
Yeah. Someone, let's see who asked. Pavel asked, per week, and do you predominantly teach a double-handed backhand to kids?
No,
we don't.
No, but I'm a true.
I don't know the hours per week. I mean, we have people that come back to us every day. Like, they have their own schedule. I don't know. Like Sundays, for instance, sometimes it could be from 9 to 5, nonstop.
Well, and the summertime's different too.
Summertime's busy. Winter slows down.
When the kids go to school, we live about 30 miles away or 45 miles away from an area of Alabama called Mobile. We live on a little island. So a lot of the students that we have to go to school first, and then to get here, they have to drive an hour after school. So school usually ends at like 3 o'clock or 2:30 Central Standard Time, and it gets dark here during the winter. Once daylight savings time goes back, it gets dark here around 5:30. So if they're getting out of school at 3 or 3:30 and get here by 4:30, almost like 30 minutes into any lesson, it's dark. So during the summers, we're generally wide open, and then in the winters, it's our weekends that are completely full, and then there's usually like one lesson after every school day, and then we still keep our group lessons and people from the island throughout those days in between. But the summers are much more arduous than the winters. But in the winters, to make ends meet, we buy and sell things on eBay.
Well, okay.
So that's how that kind of works out in the winter. So we have a second hustle for the wintertime.
Kvitova wins and will face Paulini. Juvan beats Kerber, which we were talking about, and Zhang takes out Madison Keys. Shocking?
Damn.
No, not shocking. Our neighbor's next door, so.
All right. That's it anyway. Thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow. Our little guy is next door. The mold growing in this house here. We didn't want him in here. If you didn't see our weather videos, our house was actually destroyed. Well, I say destroyed. The inside of it is destroyed. Up. You can't live in it.
It's bleak.
Yeah, this room is we just are in this one little room where we had this set up. Everything else is just not inhabitable. So our youngest son is next door, and the neighbor just got home, and he's there. So, but it was done anyway. But thanks so much to everyone. Dusandra McKinney, thanks so much for the Excel sheet. Let me know if I can pay you. I'd be happy to. And we'll see you tomorrow. Keep the comments going. When we leave here, we have to turn the power off downstairs in the power box, and we have to go back to a place where that we're staying. Thank you so much for that, by the way. And we have no TV there. We're kind of in the dark, literally in the dark. We don't even have a window in where we're staying, and that's fine too.
Hey, Sandy.
But your comments.
We'll get to the fantasy teams once all the rounds, first rounds are done, which they're not.
Yeah,
so we're gonna wait till all the first rounds are done.
Yeah, we'll do a round 1 fantasy team update when round 1.
Be careful with the mole guys. That's what I tell him. I can feel it in my
you can
chest.
feel it.
That's why I want to get out of here.
Shit all over here. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that. I'm very sorry. It just came out. But Dusan Dramakinin, he is in Serbia. If he's already asleep, I understand that. But if you're watching this tomorrow, or if you're still on, I will pay you to use your Excel sheet that you kindly made for us to do that. It would save us a lot of time. But if not, don't worry about it. I have my fantasy team booklet here. Keeping all the scores, I've got it. But I don't add up each round until after the first round is complete. So I'll do an update after the first round, after the second round, after the third round, and the first round is only halfway complete.
All right.
Anyway, much love to you guys, and we'll see you soon. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us in some way, shape, or form, from what I'm told. But anyway, we love you a lot, and adios. We'll see you tomorrow.
Adios.
See ya.
Be careful of the mold.